first of all, let's consider the construct of this pedal. It's an all aluminum chassis. I mean, it's really well built, so you can kick it around quite a bit. It's going to endure the road. Now, the knobs. This is the harmonics knob, which is a clipping knob, a gain knob, but it's of a different sort. You have to hear it to appreciate it. This is the mix knob for the harmonics knob, so it allows you to dial it in pretty well, as far as a lot of options in regards to the subtlety or the extremity of the distortion that you produce with this knob, with the mix of this knob. This is your shape knob, which is a parametric band sweep. It goes from 90 to 1K, so it has a pretty wide variation in regards to tonal possibilities there. This is your line level for your overall output volume. Now, this functions regardless if the pedal is engaged or not. It works like a volume knob on your guitar. If it's off all the way, you're not going to hear anything. It has to be up a certain level in order for things to be heard. This is your bass knob, this is your treble, and this is your bright knob. Now to the switches, this switch is what engages the pedal, which initially engages your EQ system for your bass and treble. All right. Now, your shape switch only works if the pedal is engaged. In other words, if this pedal switch is on, this will work. If it is not, then this will not work. Okay? And what this does is when you engage this, you guessed it, your harmonics, your mix, and your bright knob, EQ, or should I say, is engaged. So let's take a look at the panels, shall we? All right. Zoop. As you can see, there's a plug-in for your AC or your adapter, power adapter. Also, there is a compartment for the battery, so you can use that if you want. This is your phantom power switch. This is your direct output. All right. This will engage or disengage if you have effects running in line. By pushing it in, it allows the effects to run through the line. If the button is out, it disengages those effects running in line. Sort of like a mixer, for like on a PA system. If you can bypass the effects on at least on a decent mixer, you can do that. And the same type of option here is available here. So that works for the XLR balanced as well as the 1/4 inch plug. So that's what's going on with that. And what we have here, the direct input for this side of the panel and just the regular input. All right. That's pretty much it. So let's take a listen to it, shall we? Okay, so as you can see for the line level, functions as a regular volume knob, so it works regardless if the pedal is engaged or not, as I mentioned previous. Now all the levels are at 12 o'clock except for the mix and the harmonics. I have that down all the way. So let's take a look at the first EQ circuit, that is the bass and treble. All right, so I'm going to hit an open A, and you can see the variation within the cut and increase for the bass circuit. Cut, back to 12 o'clock, and then again, increase all the way. Back to 12 o'clock. Now for the treble, cut, back to 12 o'clock, then increase, o'clock. Alright. Now I'm going to engage the shape circuit, and as I've mentioned, that engages the EQ of the bright as well as the harmonics and mix and the shape knob, or the parametric bandwidth sweep. Alright, let's first focus on the bright. So I'm just going to hit a harmonic. Yeah, that wasn't good enough. How was that? Very subtle, but at the same time, you know. Now, what's cool about this is that it's subtle enough because it's not going to interfere with what's going on with the treble. You know, it's not going to sound like ice picks in your forehead, which is really cool, even if it's cranked up all the way. That depends, of course, in regards to this part of the circuit, which is the, you know, the harmonics or the distortion clipping in the mix. So let's take the bright in. I'm going to set it at 11 o'clock. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the mix about halfway, and then I'm going to increase the harmonics knob. Pushing a lot of air there through the speakers. Alright, so I'm going to bring that back down to about 12 o'clock, and then I'm going to increase the mix. Alright. Now the mix is up all the way, so I'm going to begin to increase. I'm going to go to the G string because otherwise it's going to be too loud. That's about 3/4 of the way. Alright, turn it up all the way. So as you can see, depending on how you have the other EQ with on the pedal adjusted, you can go from a warm sound here on the gain side. I like about 1 o'clock each for the mix and for the harmonics. Nice warm sound, but bright enough where it's going to cut through. Now, like I said, it depends how you have it set. You can get it where it's sounding warm, or you can get it where it sounds like it's just sizzling. Sizzle that tone, as it would be. Now, here is the shape knob. I'm going to play the open A string. Just sweep through it so you can hear how that sounds. So you can see where you can get a lot of tonal variations with that. That's pretty much it in a nutshell, my friends. It just requires experimenting on your own and dialing in your own sound and everything. But for $100, I mean that is the most you're going to pay for this pedal. I think it's very compatible to anything that's out there. It's built really well. It has a lot of options and features on it. and it's just a really well-made pedal. You know, I just really like it a lot. I don't use it too often because I just don't play out very much anymore, and if I did, I certainly would use it because it's the type of pedal that you especially would use for as a DI type of unit. It's very quiet, it's cool, it's quite diggable, man. Anyhow, so peace everybody. Hopefully you got something from this, and take care. We'll see you next time.